Welcome into Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Welcome to Monday.
I don't know what else to say about Monday. I am so tired of this gloomy weather.
It's apparently going to be sunny tomorrow.
I don't believe it.
I don't either, but I literally this morning, because I thought I will go walk, just a little quick walk, not a long walk, 30 minutes. And then I was like, it's still going to be gloomy, but tomorrow it looks pretty.
I don't believe it. God's punishing us for something.
I don't know. He is, and I don't enjoy it. Can you imagine
because
if you
Bama stunk it up?
Oh,
hey,
so
we're still
bad.
in. You can't keep us out. We're still in.
Listen,
How did you do that?
JP.
Because we're Bama. What do you want me to say? They gonna leave us out? Ain't gonna happen.
No, that was not going to happen. What Bama dropped to?
We actually went up one.
To 8?
9. Were we 9 to go?
I thought we were 9 to start with.
Okay, well, if we were 9 to start with, we stayed the same. Yes,
Y'all
we
are
were 9.
The whole thing is rigged. This whole thing is rigged.
Hey, man. I don't know.
That was the
They hate us because they ain't us.
That was
worstest game ever.
Okay. Do you guys, when you're watching a football game or a basketball game, can you not pick up on the energy by the way they take the field? But I thought from the beginning, I'm like, oh, we're losing. We look terrible.
It's funny
That's
you
really
say that,
terrible.
actually, because one of our really good friends, his 2 sons played at Clemson. Okay, so they grew up. Their dad was roommates with Dabo, and they went and played football at Clemson. And we were watching a game with one of the boys who had graduated, and he literally all he did was watch them run out of the tunnel, and he goes, "We're gonna lose."
Yeah.
And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "We don't have it. We're not on." And it was a terrible game.
I mean,
And they lost.
You could tell by the way Georgia took their side, but that's what I don't know. But I immediately knew that we're not winning.
The
This is not
juice
happening.
was not there. I'll say that.
Not at all.
It was pretty
and
ugly.
Georgia was just on fire to come back and win and beat Bama. And from the second they ran through the tunnel to the very last second, they dominated. They absolutely dominated and could not be stopped. And I think Alabama should have been in. I know there's the controversy because I was only last week years old learning that they were not in a conference at Notre Dame. Allison's perennial
number one
overrated team
100%
isn't in a
Notre
conference. And so then I began to understand the importance of, okay, so you got all these teams who do have to play conference championships and y'all just get to sail into the blue yonder and do what you want. That matters to me for the first time ever. So that's what I learned this weekend.
I think Notre Dame, and then they backed out of their bowl game.
They took their ball and went home.
It's cute.
But 18, last I saw, it was 8 teams, including Auburn, which I don't fault Auburn. They don't even really have a team because Jackson Arnold left, so we're really screwed. That's a joke. Anyway, but I think for somebody, but I'm worried about the whole bowl system now. What's the incentive to play?
There is none.
It's stupid. It's just like Chiclets or Tic Tacs. You get a bowl, you get a bowl, you get a bowl. Who cares? It used to mean something and you waited to watch them play. Now it's like,
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of coaches that still want to take pride in not quitting and not playing a game. But that's what Notre Dame was doing. They were whining. They were upset they didn't get in, so they pouted and went home. And that's a bad precedent to set.
And don't you think that was super validating for them to take their ball and go home? You're like, see?
I do love their coach, though. He's such a great guy, but it does kind of perplex me that he made this decision, except that now with NIL, you're like, why do you want to risk injuring your players? You're putting their livelihood in jeopardy, and it's for what? For nothing. Unless it's the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yes.
Then you better go.
Who's in the Pop-Tart Bowl this year? Let me look it up.
I knew yesterday. I don't know now.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I cannot let the moment pass. What's your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
Have we talked about this?
No.
You and I talked
haven't.
about it. She was in Mexico.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Favorite flavor?
You go first because we've already discussed ours.
No, I need to know yours.
Okay, mine is the old school because I was telling JP when we were growing up, we only had like maybe chocolate and strawberry. So I am old school strawberry, no icing, toasted.
Oh my word.
No icing.
And
Devastating.
I eat the edges first.
What?
Like I crack off the edges.
JP?
I've never heard that before. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you my big 3. You can't go wrong with the OG strawberry, but then for me, I gotta go cinnamon right behind it, and it's close between blueberry or the s'mores. I gotta go s'mores. Give me s'mores at 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I go OG cherry toasted with butter.
Cherry.
Cherry's delicious.
I didn't even know cherry was a thing.
Yes. Cherry toasted or cinnamon toasted with butter.
Butter.
Or because I have a big 3, chocolate toasted with butter. The idea that you would eat a Pop-Tart without icing feels fraudulent to me.
I put butter on it, but no icing. It's too
Allison.
sweet. It's too.
There you
There it
go
is
again. Now, look, you can't eat Pop-Tarts anymore. I mean, who knows what's in the Pop-Tart? But we know a place that makes from scratch Pop-Tarts downtown.
The patisserie. We had a patisserie right by.
It was very lovely.
Oh, wait, but they're French.
Mm.
I don't know how to do a French.
Anyway, okay. So I'm sorry. I couldn't let the Pop-Tart bowl pass without asking y'all the flavors. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
I
Momentary
discovered
pause.
the cinnamon one when I had one. I think it was my senior year. We had workouts first period, and our school we had to go in and write your lunch order beforehand, and
Oh, how precious.
they'd have some breakfast items there for you. And while I'm wanting to die because I don't want to work out at 8 o'clock in the morning, my consolatory prize was getting cinnamon Pop-Tarts that were sitting right there.
It should have been. Congratulations to you.
I'm going to go work out and then eat some Pop-Tarts.
No. I ate before. I ate the Pop-Tarts before. I
Well,
worked
that's
out.
think
even
about
worse.
it. Well, I mean, when you're 15, you can do that.
That's true.
Darn those young, horrible,
It reminds me.
fueled up. I mean, you can just burn calories. Your body's like a machine.
So true. In middle school, I used to eat lemonade. I'd get a lemonade slushie and a bag of Funyuns for lunch every day.
Funyuns are
How
fabulous.
disgusting is that?
That's gross.
Do they even make them anymore?
Oh, they do. They're great. But
Ugh,
that combo is pretty
Just
bad.
lemonade and Funyuns. That was
Wow.
East Tennessee. And
Wow.
that's like a delicacy up there.
By the way, the Pop-Tart Bowl this year, BYU against Georgia Tech.
That might
It's
be
going to be a
good.
good game. Okay. Well, at any rate, were there any surprises that got into the playoffs?
Mhm. Okay, here's my take on the playoffs. The answer is no. But if Notre Dame wants to gripe and complain, don't gripe and complain about Alabama getting in. Gripe and complain that we're giving these group of 5 teams a charity walk into the playoffs. Like James Madison, everybody's like, well, you never know until they play. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
James Madison's not beating. I don't even know who they're playing. So how about we get rid of the G5 getting in and just put the best 12 teams?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's why it's hard to take it seriously. Put the very best, period, done. That's
Yeah.
all.
It's a money thing. The G5 wanted to have a spot at the table, but the only time a G5 team is fun to get in is when it's like Boise State last year and they had a Heisman candidate.
Yes.
But other than that, it's like, oh, great. I get to turn on the TV and watch a butt kicking. Wow.
And how is that good for ratings? Like, how is that good for advertisers or any of these stations? I don't get it because
It's not.
it's not.
The ratings last year were like SMU when they played Penn State were awful. So that's what you need to gripe and complain about. Don't get mad at Bama. Get mad at JMU. Tulane's a little. I mean, Tulane will probably still lose, but James Madison, they're like, it'd have to be a miracle of all miracles if they won.
I actually, I am vowing to never say Roll Tide again because I'm pretty sure I'm the reason y'all lost.
You cursed us
It's
with your
probably the
fraudulent Roll
first
Tide.
time. I mean, I told several people Roll Tide because I despise Georgia. Cannot stand. They are the worst, tackiest fans ever. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just ugh. When we went to Athens one year when Auburn was playing there. Oh, there were like girls that were going in the guys' bathroom, like cussing it was so tacky. Anyway,
Wait, really?
yeah, it was just really, and it wasn't a tranny thing. It just was, it was just tacky. Like these cute little sorority girls just being just ugly. They were ugly, just being tacky.
Don't be ugly, girls.
Anyway, and so I just cannot stand Georgia. But I decided I will not say Roll Tide again because I think I ruined it.
Yeah, don't, because then we'll actually have a chance. Perhaps.
When we went to the the Bama Georgia game at Bryant Denny last year, when Ryan Williams had his amazing catch, when they had the touchdown before that and it looked like they were going to win, they all started the UGA chants in Bryant Denny, and then the next play Ryan Williams did that play, and I will admit I did bark at Georgia fans nearby me. Very loudly.
We're not sad about that.
You
It's
were like
fine,
those sorority
JP.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, look,
Tacky.
you are so reserved and have to tell us sometimes things that we can't say. So I think letting it out every once in a while is okay. I think that's very respectable. Okay. So we have a great Monday planned for y'all. It may be Monday and it may be gloomy where you are, and y'all really cold weather's coming later.
What?
Yeah, I want to save that bad news for you, but Tuberville's on the show today, 3:00 hour. We have a montage that is spectacular. And then the rest of just mayhem that happens on a Monday. We're here to unravel all of it, which that's like a good plan, isn't it?
It is.
And don't leave, because by the end of the day, we'll have our exit question of the day. So this is going to be a banger Monday, even if your team didn't get into the playoffs.
Auburn had a great weekend.
I bet they had a great weekend.
Getting crushed by Arizona in basketball.
Okay, that was enough.
JP,
I was
remember that restraint?
Sorry.
Yeah. What happened?
We do have children that go there, so War Eagle. Like both and.
I was just thinking we're going to be well rested for all those. Oh, nope. We won't see you again till August. It's fine. All right. When we come back, maybe montage. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We've got some news though. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. And JP, you sent us a list for our montage.
I did.
It's a good one.
But-
It's some good stuff, things that we have talked about,
Yeah, from time to time.
but they won't go away.
That's true. By the way, we have some texts if you want to read out before we get to the montage.
Sure.
833-687-4448 is the text line number, by the way, if y'all want to text in about the show. David at Bucky's says, OG strawberry toasted with butter.
Yeah.
I've never done the butter on a Pop-Tart.
What?
I just know it's a song from Family Guy.
That's your homework.
What?
If you probably haven't seen that Family Guy clip where he sings a
No.
song about, have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? No, I've never put butter on a Pop-Tart.
I'm sorry, you haven't lived.
You don't do butter if there's icing. Well, I don't know what Dave would from
You
Buc-ee's
can.
would say.
You can do butter and icing because the butter, the salt cuts the sugar. See, it's a plan. All right, go ahead. More text.
Adam from Athens says Tulane already got crushed by Ole Miss once this year. That they did. They'll probably get crushed again. Also, it's gonna be interesting seeing Ole Miss first game without Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
hope they kill Tulane.
Oh, they will. And then Summerall will go to Florida, and then that'll be that. But I'm interested to see how they play without Ole Lane. Lisa from Huntsville says that it was no one's fault but Alabama that they lost the game Saturday. Says, I deliberately stayed away from the TV and we still lost. My staying out of the room and away from the TV usually serves to help Alabama win. This is all on them.
You know what, Lisa? I'm the same. I should have napped. If I nap, we win. If I'm awake and reading a book or like milling around, we lose.
I'm so superstitious. Okay, because we always have like a watch party at my parents' house with friends and stuff, and I'm normally there. However, I'm in Birmingham now, and so the Oklahoma game, I watched it at my brother's with my nephew, and we lost. So I couldn't watch it there this weekend. So I was going to go up to Huntsville to watch it with my family, and they were going to my sister's basketball game. So I was like, okay, great. Now I got to watch it at my aunt's house where I'm 0-0 going in with a wild card, and we lost. So I guess I can't watch it at my aunt's house anymore now. So I don't know.
You need to go to the street.
You probably should hang out with us, and maybe we'll like rearrange the juju, and it'll be okay again. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not
Because
superstitious.
I screwed stuff up too. So
it was all of us.
It was all.
Yeah.
We are the reason they
It's a
lost.
group effort.
Not
But
because they played like crap, but it's because of us.
I'm really curious though from listeners or y'all, because I'll be honest, I was kind of in and out. I was like, this is really boring. And so I started decorating the house. But what happened? What went wrong?
Georgia's defense just destroyed Alabama. Alabama had -3 rushing yards that game.
I did see where y'all went for it on like the 5-yard line.
Yeah, the game was already over at that point, so we were going down swinging.
Okay.
pretty
I mean, if it hits, you're a hero. If it doesn't, you're a ding dong.
It's one of those things where you thought maybe at halftime they will have a come to Jesus conversation and they'll come out and, because they did that last year.
That's how they were a second half team.
And nope, came out like, can we get this over with? The first half, I don't know at what point during the first half, it may have even been the first quarter. I looked at Chris and I was like, it already looks like it's the end of the fourth quarter and we have given up.
Yeah.
So it was just a crummy milquetoast attitude, like, almost as if they knew they were going to get in the playoffs and they'll reserve their best effort for that, which is no good. No bueno.
John from Huntsville on the YouTube line, by the way, says JP, Alabama just sucks. Okay. Thanks, John.
Okay.
I say War Eagle. Okay.
I'll never say that, by the way.
I do have. Really?
Mm-mm.
Even if we were playing Georgia?
No. Yeah, definitely not.
You're
I can't
like,
say that.
you're like Chris.
I can't
It's
say
like
it.
we send a child to Auburn, but I can't. He has a visor, but he can't say it.
My dad, who is big Alabama, my grandfather had season tickets when Bear was there. So like it's a tradition, like down the family line. And my brother, who all of his friends were going to Auburn, and he flirted with going to Auburn for a little bit. And my dad goes, son, if you go to Auburn, you're not getting a dime from me. It's like, that's fair.
Okay.
So
I see how it is.
at the house this weekend, some of the family came over and my nephew was there and he brought a friend who nephew is a Alabama fan. His friend had on an Auburn sweatshirt. And so somebody was talking to the boys about where they wanted to go to college. And my nephew said, Alabama. And before we could even finish the sentence, somebody said, if you go to Bama, you'll end up. And his friend in the Auburn sweatshirt goes, dead. I was like, well, either on coke or dead. Either way.
I didn't die. I was only there for 1 year, though.
Yeah, you got out alive.
Yeah.
That was kind of rude of me. But I feel the same way about my kids going to Bama as you do about them going to Auburn.
That's how it should
Or
be.
your dad does.
That's how it should be.
Oh,
That's funny.
I try and be merciful and gracious, but not so much you, JP. Not so much you. All right, when we get back, we'll get to our montage and we'll get to some news. We'll stop talking sports. Don't you worry. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We're getting close to our 3:00 hour interview with Senator Tuberville. We've got some basically, well, they're not going to be lightning round questions, but we've got a routine and we're excited to ask him about all the things.
We have a lot to cover.
I mean, truly. So we're just going to let you listen in to that. But first, JP, do you have a word for us about the montage?
How'd you know? I should probably turn my mic on before I say that.
You probably should.
Are you
But-
professional or not?
No, not really. But I gotta tell you all about Stan McDonald, who is a partner at the law firm of Wilmer and Lee out of Huntsville. He's a 30-year veteran in the practice of law. Not only will Stan advocate and fight for your legal needs and rights, but he has been an absolute warrior for causes near and dear to our Rightside ruffian community. Attorney Stan McDonald has represented his clients in literally thousands of real estate transactions over the years. And when Stan McDonald is on your side, you have no greater friend, and likewise, your adversary will have no greater foe. So Attorney Stan McDonald, here's his phone number, 256-533-0202. That's 256-533-0202. And tell me her about it on Rightside Radio. And no representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Blackwood News.
The days in which these narco-terrorists, designated terror organizations, operate freely in our hemisphere are over. These narco-terrorists are the Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere, and we are hunting them with the same sophistication and precision that we hunted Al-Qaeda. We are tracking them, we are killing them, and we will keep killing them so long as they are poisoning our people with narcotics so lethal that they're tantamount to chemical weapons.
Some Catholics in Europe believe that Islam is a threat. Are they right? And what will you say to them?
All of the conversations that I had during my time both in Turkey and in Lebanon, including with many Muslims, were precisely concentrated on the topic of peace and respect for people of different religions. I know that in Europe there are many times fears that are present but oftentimes generated by people who are against immigration and trying to keep out people who may be from another country, another religion, another race.
So, this nation was founded by killers who slaughtered 90% of the indigenous people, leeches who glommed off of the indigenous who taught them how to survive in the wilderness and then murdered them as their things and then took all their land. And you want to talk about entitlement, they felt entitled to own other people and they didn't even want to pay taxes on it. So they decided to have a whole war with Britain.
So we've had ICE and DHS down in Louisiana for about a week now. And as a business owner, I've been running my own construction company since I was 18 years old. I'm 27 now. I'm seeing firsthand just the shockwave them boys are sending across the state. No immigrants want to go to work. I've gotten more calls in the last week than I've gotten in the last 3 months. I got 20 calls in one day. And it is so amazing.
He's so excited.
Okay.
Okay, the ICE raids, and we asked a question of Steve Marshall, and honestly, in those interviews, it's going so fast. I need to go back and listen to how he answered. I can't remember, but those are the situations that are kind of difficult, and I get it. The immigration discussion is a very nuanced discussion in that there are bad actors. There are people that do not want to assimilate. You look at the Somalians and the fraud and all that's happening. That's fine. Get him out. But what are the repercussions? Can these businesses go on? He's excited because he's getting calls from general contractors that need people, his little company, that they are now looking to Americans to come do the work, which is awesome. And that's the end result of what you want. Are we willing to go through the hard gap time? Because it's not all peaches and roses when you start pulling people off jobs. And some of these people are people that have maybe been in the country for 20 years that really genuinely are not bad people. They probably send all their money back to Mexico. I'm not sure how much of it stays here or wherever they're from. But little Louisiana fired up 27-year-old construction guy is really excited. But does this collapse on itself if we're not careful?
Okay, there's a couple of things there. I think the argument, it's the same argument the Dems are making that we I hear the argument a lot. They've been here a while. We have to be careful, which is valid. They have been here a while. We have to be careful. I get that. But I also think that we're left with a broken system that even back to Reagan, when they could have done the right thing as far as immigration was concerned and law, with visas, with green cards, with whatever else they needed. I'm going to throw in a yellow card just with a soccer analogy. I don't know. But we are left with inside of a system that doesn't look like it has a whole lot of winners if we want to get back to truth, justice, and the American way. That's the hard part about whatever is about to happen. And I know because listen, like we just had work done on our house. I feel what you're saying. But I still think we have to get back to what is legal, what is right. Why were people here so long that they didn't do the right thing? If they've been here for 20 years, it's incumbent upon them to go become legal. We have some friends who are married to people who became legal the legal way, and they took years to do so, and they fought hard to become a citizen. So we're in a whirlwind right now because we didn't do the right thing. Democrats and Republicans, we did not do the right thing. But I think if we want to get back to what's right, then we're going to have to deal with the fact that, yeah, there may be some gaps, and that may be super uncomfortable, and it's not great. But if we are a nation of law, which that can be debated, right? Because I don't know that we're a nation of power. And whoever has it wins. But if we want to get back right, then I think we have to deal with this pulling people off jobs. You guys have been here for 5 years. You've had plenty of time to get right. Or you've been here for 20 years. You've had plenty of time to get right and to go do the right thing and to renew your visa. Even if you knew that, for example, your H-1B visa needed to be renewed and you stayed 5 years past. We're the only country in the world that does things like that, where we just don't check and we don't go see and it doesn't seem to matter. But if we don't do it now, we're never going to do it. And the side of not doing it has led to less jobs for Americans, lower wages because that's hard. Housing has been an issue. Immigrants are getting even residency positions and fellowship positions that Americans aren't getting. It's spread out because we didn't do the right thing back in the 80s. It is a highly uncomfortable conversation because these are human beings and they're made in the image of God. However, we're going to have to do very uncomfortable things, I think, to get back right. And that involves pulling people off of jobs that they've been here, but they didn't do what was right when they could have. And now we're left with the consequences. And that's what makes a lot of people, I think, super uncomfortable. Nobody wants to do it, or they would have done it.
Here's my 2 cents too. Of it, if it's gonna get bumpy in these markets like the farming industry, the hotel industry, Silicon Valley, even with colleges are saying that if the 600,000 Chinese students aren't allowed to come in, the college economy and market will just crumble. Well, you'll figure it out real quick if that does happen. Like these companies will learn how to hire Americans with a fair wage real quickly if they're put in the position. But if we coddle them and say, you can have your cheap labor, you can have your illegal labor, because your economy will crumble if it doesn't happen, like then they're just going to keep getting away with what they're getting away with. If we actually put the pressure on them and say, no, you got to go hire Americans, Americans will show up and work. There's been lines of Americans going around blocks at certain plants where they go in and get rid of the illegal aliens. Americans will work if the opportunity is there. It's just the whole narrative of, well, it will crumble and Americans will feel it. Like Even if that were the case, I guarantee you these big, companies that are using cheap labor will figure it out real quick to hire Americans. You just got to put the pressure on them to actually do it. Take away their cheap labor and then make them hire Americans with a fair wage. Make college affordable for Americans. You got to do it and make them come down and fix it.
It's enabling. We've been enabling for 40 to 50 years. And now we're here going to be looking like the bad guys if we enforce immigration laws. And we do, but it's got to be, it's either now or never. We either just quit talking about it and let it just everybody melt in and do what they're going to do, or we do it and it's going to be painful to get back right. And then we can see where we are. And then we can figure out who can stay, shut off the flow of immigration while we're figuring this out, and then go back to, okay, how many people do we want to let in? And are they willing to assimilate? And are they willing to blend in? And are they willing to pay taxes and not send money home? Are they willing to build houses, live in them, and build their community or not? But it's a terrible situation we've all been put in because nobody would do the right thing all those years ago.
I think y'all are being a little idealistic. I was at dinner the other night with some very strong Republican Alabamians. Some of them, they or their husbands own small businesses, whether it's in construction or there's several different industries, but they're Alabama small businesses. And they are like, we are all for immigration reform and changing the way things are done. And we get what President Trump is doing. However, if these raids and things continue and it's just like one day you're here and one day you're gone, it will destroy our Alabama small business. So, and again, these are very conservative that believe with what we believe. But I think maybe is there there's a good way and maybe a best way to do it? Is there a way kind of through attrition where you can do it slowly, where you can, maybe extend them for 6 cents? Since I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that there are a lot of small business owners in this state that are very concerned about their livelihood. This guy in Louisiana, obviously he had American workers, no big deal. But is it their fault for these companies who some of these workers bring false documents, and they have a social security number that works and they've been hired and this is the way it's always done because the government has always allowed it. And now all of a sudden we're coming in and yanking people off. Meanwhile, Alabama families that own this or, that work in these factories or whatever suffer. So I'm with y'all. Like, it is a broken system and it is way far gone and it should have been handled a long time ago. We should never have been in this position. However, we are. So I guess I'm just wondering if there's a balance there of how we can, I don't have an answer.
I think for the families who are employing small business, that have small businesses, and again, I think being idealistic, we've got to have some kind of standard and we've had none. So being idealistic feels cruel. The question is, though, for the people who have the small businesses, are you helping your employees get legal? Because then as a believer, then we have a standard of truth and we have to do what is uncomfortable and we have to do what is right and we have to be excellent. And part of that is following the law, even if nobody else will. So are they willing to go take their people and say, all right, let's get the process started? Because we can help them all we want and feed them and whatever. But we also, with the other hand, have to say, but the expectation here is you will get legal and we will help you to follow the steps to do so, however long it takes. That's something people can get behind. But this endless flow isn't working. And we all agree on that.
But I think what about something like, as you're talking, something like, okay, the government, ICE comes in and says, this sounds so stupid. Like, okay, look, let me tell you, we're ICE and we're going to come give you a heads up. But what if they do come in and say, we have found that these 6 illegal workers, okay, let's take for granted they haven't committed any crimes. They're just working, but they're here illegally. They overstayed their visa. What if ICE comes in, identifies them and says, you have 6 months to replace them. And then they're going back to fill that job, to do whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't, this isn't something that my family has to deal with, but I did sit around that table the other night and go, it's real easy to say, rip them out, send them back, when it could be your neighbor. But I hear what you're saying, because like, hello, we should do what's right, and you should have control over your company to know who you're hiring. But anyway,
I mean, I'm sure there's good people. I mean, that's the market. If your competitor is using cheap labor, I mean, I understand you have to play the game to a certain extent, but I just don't see any way around it rather than ripping the Band-Aid off and putting the pressure on. And I'm not saying these are bad people that were, working these small companies, but it's like, I don't know another way. Rip the Band-Aid off, and I assure you that they'll figure it out pretty quickly. Like I don't see any way to just slow step into it. I think you just got to do it because they're here illegally. I mean, you just got to, I don't know.
yeah, with illegal in the front of any word, it's pretty clear what you're supposed to do.
And if you want to do the mass amnesty sort of thing where, they're here, okay, y'all good. That destroyed California. That was Reagan. Like one of the biggest mistakes Reagan ever made was doing that. So I don't know. You got to get him out of here, and the markets will figure it out.
Yeah. Good discussion. I kind of like it when we all have differing viewpoints. I think it's healthy.
It is healthy.
And we're still friends and we like each other. All right. We'll be back. Tommy Tuberville is coming up after the top of the hour. We might have some texts. We might have another story.
Yes.
We might have another aggressively helpful debate. We'll see.
And I got a little story about the Obamas, you guys.
Oh.
Gotta throw that
Always
in there
good.
today. Yeah.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. JP, I understand you have some texts.
We do. 833-687-4448. Text us in your thoughts on what we're talking about during the show. We got Jeff from Chattanooga. Don't know what he means by this, but he says flip-flop season's over with.
Because ding-dongs are out there wearing flip-flops. Like now.
Is it? Oh, I couldn't tell if he meant that or if he
Oh.
was claiming we were flip-flopping. I don't know.
Okay,
But
well,
he says that.
I took it
Is
as
that
a like actual wearing flip-flops.
Or maybe just in general, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I took it as in general, no flip-flopping on what we were talking about, like with conservatives.
Okay, well,
I
see,
don't know.
this is why there's three of us. That makes more sense.
Connor from Huntsville says, Huntsville, Republican, Democrat, Alabama. I don't care. Oh, sorry. Let me restart that. He said, this is Connor from Huntsville, Republican, Democrat, Alabama. I don't care the game, the system. And now they're saying, okay, we need to fix the system, but you fix the other guy's problem and leave mine alone. Don't game the system and then cry boo-hoo when it crumbles down around you.
Is he talking about
Okay.
like hiring illegals?
Yes.
And okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he said. And Jeff from Chattanooga said, I was right. He said, no flip-flopping back and forth on the issue. Just take the Band-Aid off.
Okay, I like that. The reason, I'm sorry, everyone, that I thought it was actual flip-flops is I may or may not have people in my family that would wear flip-flops in 28-degree weather.
Yeah. Shorts.
So I took that literally, and I take the point, and I understand. No, thank you. You're right. No flip-flopping. None. It's painful. We've let ourselves be the frogs in the pot.
Oh my gosh, that was the shortest segment ever.
Mm.
But yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Again, and either something's right or something's wrong. And sorry. And I think you're right. If you know you have illegals hired at this point, you should probably start filling their positions with non-illegals because it's coming.
By the way, Jeff from Chattanooga says, that is so funny because I'm actually wearing flip-flops and socks right now.
See, I feel better.
How the heck do you wear flip-flops and socks? You can't even walk in them.
It's a spiritual gift.
Maybe it's like slides. Anyway, we got to go to a break. On the other side, Senator Tommy Tuberville will be with us. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair, the Allison Sinclair, and the JP. You guys, this is a moment we have promised, and we'll get back to the schmontage. Do you know who we have with us, Allison Sinclair?
I'm so excited. We have Senator Tommy Tuberville. He's so excited too. He's dancing.
I'm excited. Hey, it's the holiday season, ladies. You got to get into it.
That's true.
Do you have music going, or was that just
That was your music. No, that was your music.
Oh, we did change our bumper music.
Yeah, that was pretty
Coach
good.
likes it. I think we keep it.
Nice.
That was a lot better than
Yeah.
was a lot better than Phil's bumper music. I'll tell you.
Thank you.
We talked to
Thank
Phil
you.
today. He is really excited about his new position. So I thank you. And look where we ended up.
Yeah. Look, upgrade in both spots.
Senator, we want to thank you for what you have done regarding, there's so many things we want to thank you for what you've done, but specifically with Islam and Alabama and how strong you have taken a stand against Sharia law in America. But the Islamic Academy was going to be near both of our homes. And so we appreciate what you have said. What we wanted now was your thoughts after we've just found out that the Islamic Academy has formally withdrawn their request. What are your thoughts on the matter regarding the Academy, Alabama? Like, just speak to it however you wish.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. And, this goes back to a very deep subject because we're at war. We're at war in this country with all the people that have come here from all over the world. And listen, we love immigration. We're all a part of an immigrant family one time or the other. But a lot of people come here and they want to assimilate. They want to go by our laws. They want to go by our Constitution. They want a better life. It's what they want. And they want to come here and just live much better than where they moved from. Well, not the group coming here from the Muslim countries. They're coming here with an agenda. They don't want to assimilate. They don't want to get along with anybody. Now, there's a few of them that do. I'm not talking about all of them. But if you believe in the Quran and go by Sharia law and want to chant death to America and teach that nonsense in these schools, I don't want you here. Neither does people that love this country. And so I saw what was happening in Hoover, and they wanted to build a bigger school there. It'd be very, very interesting to see what they teach in this school. But at the end of the day, it doesn't need to be here. We're a Christian, Judeo-Christian country that believes in God. We believe in the Bible, and we built it off our forefathers built it off of that precedent. And so at the end of the day, we do not want to change. We don't want people changing us. So that's the reason I've been very vocal. I'm going to give another speech this week on the Senate floor that's going to probably not agree with a lot of people. But you know what? I've got to the point, I really don't care because I love this country. My dad died for this country, and I'd be danged if we're going to let people come here and change what we have built over the years.
You know what? I think politicians are most effective when they just don't give a rip anymore. So I really appreciate that because
Amen.
if you're playing for your next election, if you're playing for your next position or your committee assignment, in general, you really don't do what's right for the people. So I appreciate it. And you've been so good. Your military holds, people came after you, but that was the right thing to do. So from the beginning, you've been willing to stand up and do some really hard things. I am curious, though. We're watching Greg Abbott in Texas, who is taking on the Epic City, which that's a little more clear cut. That is building a city within a city with totally different laws. But what we're seeing here in Meadowbrook, where we live, and in Alabama is the Muslim community buying churches and kind of, I call it creep. But if, as governor, how do you see us being able to protect Alabama in the future from these things?
Well, Sharia law is already banned, by the way, in the state of Alabama. And so we're off to a good start. But we just got to make people understand that we're not going to deal with that. And you look at what's happened in Texas, just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They, over just a 4 or 5 year period, they have built 50 mosques for Muslims. They have built a city outside of Dallas. And what has happened is people, as you just said, politicians, they ride the fence and they don't want to do anything that's going to upset the apple cart where they might lose a vote here or there. I don't care. I'm going to speak what I believe, and I'm going to work for the people of Alabama, whether I'm a senator or a governor or whether I'm just a normal citizen. I am going to fight for this country. We want to fight with words and with actions where we don't have to fight with guns and knives in the future if we don't watch it. So we all got to be in on this. And again, I see a lot more of it than I would like, not just in Alabama, but all over our country. And if you just look at what's happened in Europe, Europe is almost gone. They've got these weak-kneed politicians that have bowed down to these people coming from other countries, and they're still letting them in, and it's over for them. And the only way they're ever going to win there now is that they fight in the streets. And you really don't want to do that. We don't want to do that here, but we will if we have to. But at the end of the day, we don't need to do that. Let's just let them know right now where we stand and what we believe in. And you're not welcome to do these things out in public. If you want to do it at home, fine. If you want to live here, but as long as you go by our laws and believe in the things that made this country great, I'm all in.
That's great to hear. So, Senator, let's talk about Pete Hegseth. They just won't seem to leave him alone in the good work that he is doing. But could you speak to that and what's going on? Because once again, here you are taking a stand for what is right. And the left wing media, Senate, they cannot leave it alone. They just won't leave him alone. Could you speak to what's really going on with pursuing the narco terrorist and your support for Pete?
Well, both of y'all know, as well as me, I'm older than y'all, but I can remember almost every day of my life, whether it's in high school or college or getting my first job of working in this country. There's always been a fight with words of just say no drug. We don't want drugs. You know, all this rhetoric that we've always spoken, but it hadn't meant one dang thing. Now you've got a guy named Donald Trump, and Pete Hegseth said, enough's enough. We're going to cut the head off the snake, and we're going to hit them before they get here. And we know exactly who they are, where it's coming from. They're coming from Venezuela and all Central America countries. And President Trump he's had it. We're losing over 100,000 people a year from 18 to 45, a drug overdose. There's not one, not one person in this country has not been affected in some form or fashion with a friend dying or a relative dying or overdosing, maybe going to the point where they didn't die, but they're not the same as they used to be. And it's because of drugs. We've got to stop it. You're never going to stop 100% of it, but we can get it to the point where it is so expensive or so out of fashion that we can deal with it. But Hegseth is the second most hated guy by the Democrat Party behind Donald Trump. And they want him out because he speaks the truth. He and I, matter of fact, we're coming to Huntsville this week. He and I, for some business there around Redstone. But he is a great guy that believes in this country like you and I. And he sees it. He understands that if we don't fight outside our boundaries, we're going to be fighting right in this country, in our streets. And we can't allow that to happen.
I love his statements. I think it was just yesterday, basically saying we are going after these terrorists like we went after Al Qaeda. Like it is a war. They are terrorists with drugs. And when you do that mind switch in your head, you're like, okay, I get it.
Yes.
This is exactly how you handle that problem.
Yeah. Well, I want to say this too. It's just not drugs. I mean, there's other things on these boats. It could be millions of dollars that are being laundered in some of these Caribbean islands. It could be guns, but it's something that's going to really affect America. Most of it is going to be drugs. And you can see the packages on some of these boats, just pounds and pounds and pounds of cocaine or heroin or fentanyl. and it's got to stop. And if we don't stop it, we can't make it as a country, because look at our healthcare system. It's blown up. We can't afford healthcare anymore because of the situation where we're obese. We have people that, all this processed food, and then you get to the drug part, it just makes it that much worse.
I'm laughing thinking about, I heard on one of the CNN or talking whatever heads talking about that you can see suitcases in the boats like they were just coming over on vacation and we were blowing them up, and you're like, what are we even doing? Yeah. Coach, I know you have some votes soon and we have about a minute with you. So the most important topic, have you met with Alex Golish yet? And what are you thinking about the new head coach?
Who is this?
The new Auburn head coach.
Oh yeah. I haven't met him. I've read a little bit about him. We've been so busy up here. I hadn't had a time to look at it, but it's just a situation where we're in where it seems like every few years we're changing coaches. That doesn't work. We've got to get somebody that's going to be there. It's going to do the right thing. It's going to be a part of not just the campus, but the city and the state. So hopefully it works out. It's a hard job. This NIL has made it very, very tough. And it's just unfortunate.
I still can't figure out why you want to be governor, but if that doesn't work out and it's not very fun, maybe you can come back and coach. Where are you going?
Don't talk me out of it. Don't talk me out of it. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Coming home and we started our plan. We started working on it. I know we've got to win a couple of elections, but at the end of the day, you can't start the day you're inaugurated. You have to start putting it all together. So we have started doing that a little bit on the side of making sure that we understand what we want to do and how the game plan is going to process once we take over. And so I'm looking forward to it. I don't have to get on an airplane twice a week and come to Washington, D.C., thank goodness. But I'm looking forward to coming back and making Alabama great again.
Well, we would love to have you on next time you're in Birmingham. We'd love to have you in studio and really go into kind of your plan for your governorship. If you are around, we'll be in touch with that. All right, that'd be awesome. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
All right, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. It's only a couple of weeks away. How about that? Oh my goodness.
Great. Don't say that. I have too many kids. I got to go by for.
Merry Christmas.
See you later.
Okay.
All right. It's never enough time. We can never cover all the things. I had so many other questions, but we'll get to them. We'll get him back in the studio, which is something I really want us to do. I think kind of in studio interviews are a rarity. And I would love for us to get back to that. So anyway, we got to take a break. We will be back with some more news on the other side.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. In case you missed it, we just had an opportunity to speak with Coach Tuberville about Pete Hegseth and the narco-terrorist. We also talked to him about the Islamic Academy and Sharia law and his thoughts regarding that. And then Allison, we kind of covered and got him a little bit, though we need to have him back to talk about his plans.
Yeah,
when he's a governor.
I think that would be really good to hear from him because state government politics is very different than DC politics.
Yeah, it is.
And he's got a great team around him, but I'm curious to see what his plans are for here.
It's true.
He will be the man.
So I did have a little, since we were talking about Hegseth, I found this morning on this Rod Martin report. I don't know where I found this guy, but I just thought that this would throw this out here to people who are complaining because, it's our job to arm you with facts because it's the holidays and maybe you have a rogue family member who wants to broach this subject. Like, why are we shooting the narco-terrorists that the media called shipwrecked?
With their bags for vacation.
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
Okay, just two little factoids, guys. And I'm not even going to bring up the part about the pirate whatever. I'll save that for later. It's in this report and the legality of what we are doing.
Pirates.
Well, there's this whole segment of the law that international waters.
Pirating. Got it.
Pirates are bad. You're basically free to take on piracy. Barack Obama and Joe Biden fired 963 cruise missiles and ordered more than 692 drone strikes on individuals they had designated foreign terrorists, including some U.S. citizens. Wow. I do not recall the New York Times ever suggesting that Obama or Biden were war criminals. Not once.
Exactly.
This is what Rod Martin says, and I say, Rod, bravo. Thank you, sir. But just file that away.
Yeah.
Helpful.
It's funny how many things were okay then and not now.
Yeah. I mean, let's look up how many drone strikes Obama had in his presidency in the Middle East. Let's see. Over 10 times more strikes in Pakistan, Somalia, and Yemen than Bush had. Across his two terms, the Obama administration conducted approximately 563 drone strikes. Other estimates suggest up to 1,878 in his 8 years in office.
You don't say.
How do you suggest such a specific number? I mean,
I don't know.
It
It says these strikes killed an estimate of 3,797 people in total. So it's okay when Obama does this. Not okay when Trump does it. Obama deported 3 million people over his presidency. It's okay then. Trump hasn't even reached that number yet. And Trump's a fascist Nazi.
It's exhausting, guys. Okay, keeping up with what we are and aren't allowed to do based on who and who is not in the White House. Sure, got it. Very quickly, hostis humani generis. Okay, that's the legal. I don't know what that means, except the legal concept of hostis humani generis comes from the United States v. Smith in 1820. Yes, I know that's a very long time ago. But pirates, the court explained, are enemies of all mankind. This principle is what allows universal jurisdiction over pirates. Any nation may apprehend and punish them regardless of nationality or location. And how much more so when it comes to drugs? Or to the people who die as a result of the drugs brought here, they just don't matter.
I'm still stuck on pirates. Can we go back and talk pirates?
Sure.
No, but I mean, it's this whole thing is stupid. You take out the people that are coming after you.
Thank you.
That's it. It's really not that complicated.
It's not.
So we'll go to break because there's nothing else to say. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So in the montage, there was a clip of the Pope talking about Islam. It's like JP knew that the senator was going to come on, and we've already covered narco-terrorist and Pete Hegseth. And we've talked a little bit about Islam, but not as in depth as now, after we listened to the clip of the Pope. I mean, come on, Mr. Pope. But can you replay that, JP?
I can.
Thank you, sir.
The full clip's a little longer, so feel free to cut it off whenever we want. But yeah.
Okay.
Here's the Pope on a plane. I don't even know the context of the clip, but he was asked by somebody about Islam and the Christian rhetoric around Islam. So
some Catholics in Europe believe that Islam is a threat to a Christian identity of the West. Are they right? And what would you say to them?
All of the conversations that I had during my time both in Turkey and in Lebanon, including with many Muslims, were precisely concentrated on the topic of peace and respect for people of different religions. I know that, as a matter of fact, that has not always been the case. I know that in Europe there are many times fears that are present but oftentimes generated by people who are against immigration and trying to keep out people who may be from another country, another religion, another race.
Okay. What y'all think?
I got a lot of thoughts on this. I don't know if I feel like I've been, the Pope's been at this with a lot of stuff recently. But I first want to say, I mean, I'm personally not Catholic. I went to my whole one half side of my family is all Catholic. And I actually went to the Vatican this summer and was blown away by the beauty. And so I have a reverence for the Catholic Church tradition. And I think I admire their honor of, church tradition. I wish a lot of Protestants would have that same reverence for it. And I have a reverence for the Pope for the most part. Here's the thing, though. The Pope is the Christian, like when most people globally think Christianity, they think of the Pope. Like he's kind of the spokesperson for Christianity. I have a problem when the Pope is out of touch with certain, conversations like this, because if you just isolate what he said, it's like, okay, I guess, like you can understand where he's coming from. Like if you just isolate the question, ignore what's going around globally, ignore what's happening in the US with Islam in particular and the attack on Christianity, ignore all that what he said is not wrong. Like it would make sense to say, we want to, be peaceful with other peoples. We want to be peaceful with other religions. I went to Muslim countries and they, treated me with great respect, yada, yada, yada. But here's the thing, though. Whenever the Pope does not make an emphasis on protecting Christianity, when you got a Christian genocide in Nigeria, you've got Islamification in America, where they're literally saying they're going to conquer the West and eradicate Christianity, where you have, just so many instances like with Christmas markets in Europe getting overrun by Muslims and they can't even peacefully have Christian, services. I'm not asking for the Pope to go and say the Crusades are coming back. Like he doesn't have to say that. All we're asking is for him to make a point and say, but it is important that we protect Christianity globally, and we're not going to let it get overrun by Islam. Not asking to treat Muslims badly, not asking for another Crusades. Just make it a point to say Christianity is going to be protected globally, period. Instead, he goes the route of, we're not going to demean anybody. And this rhetoric is being twisted by people because they want to block out immigrants with certain race and from certain countries. It's like, what that does is it gives air cover for Catholic priests, like we saw in Portland, going and protesting against ICE, blocking roads against ICE, because the Pope said it, that's the Christian, leader. That's our Catholic leader. It's just disappointing because it's like, is the Pope really that out of touch, or is he trying to virtue signal? And it's really just, like I said, I know many Catholics who don't agree with the Pope, but in terms of just providing air cover for Christians to stick up for themselves, the Pope just fumbled it completely, and it's disappointing. So I'm not saying, the Pope is God. But it would be nice to have the Pope on the global stage protecting Christianity instead of being soft and trying to virtue signal. It'd be nice. But it's disappointing.
I just think it's really rich. I think that's what the young people say. It's really rich that the Pope is saying we need to be peaceful and respectful with Muslims. And I'm like, we wouldn't even have you wouldn't be Pope. There would be no Pope. There would be no Catholic Church if your predecessors had bought into that right there. We would have been totally dominated in the Crusades and Islam would have taken over. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I guess he doesn't know history. It's incompatible. There is no peace and respect with Muslims. And to say you can have that conversation, but it's a lie, is a lie. And so it makes me wonder if he's either really stupid or he's a total fake. And look, I have lots of Catholic friends, whatever, but you can't say that and invite the dominating religion of Islam into, and didn't he set up? Yes, he just set up like a prayer room in the Vatican. Am I making this up?
I did see something about that.
A
in
prayer
St. Peter's
room,
Basilica.
yes, in the Basilica for Muslims to come and see the Basilica and be able to go and pray in the prayer room. What the hell, County? So I don't know if he's just a globalist plant and that's how he won. I don't know, but that is possibly the dumbest statement I've ever heard come out of probably any Pope's mouth.
I heard a couple of people on X today say basically those same things, kind of tying together what both of you are saying is defend the faith, A, B, quit being naive or stupid or wicked.
It's one of the other.
Or would you also then be willing to speak to two things? One, the plight of women who are in Islamic countries or even here in the U.S., just thinking of honor killings and female genital mutilation. Why am I struggling with that
You're
word?
having an Allison day.
Mutilation, which sounds horrific, but it happens here. But also the arranged marriages, the complete cover of women, the non-entities that they become because they're seen as lesser than, covering them up from head to toe in 54 countries that fly the Islamic flag. I don't understand what you mean when you say that it is a religion or a faith of peace and we can peacefully coexist. No, we can't. They don't exist with anybody. That's the problem with them coming here. They don't exist because if they actually follow Islam and their trilogy, the Hadith, the Quran, and I'm blanking on the third book because I still need a Diet Coke, but there are 3 books that are holy to them. If they follow those books, 51% of what is said in those 3 books in their trilogy have to do with us, the infidels, and how to treat us. So if you're a faithful adherent of Islam, then you have no interest in existing peacefully with us. You just don't. That's what your book says. That's not feelings. That's fact. So it goes back to what he said. That is either ignorant, you're either a plant and a globalist one at that, or it's just wicked. Because lying, last time I checked, the Bible says is wrong. And you of all people should know that.
Well, I mean, my gut, instinct or sense is that because I mean that was kind of like high school JP had that sort of thinking. Obviously, I believe Christianity was true, but I was in the live and let live, as most young people are. Well, I don't have to impose my beliefs on other people. If they're not doing it to me, why do I have to do it to them? We can live peaceably. And then you kind of get mugged by reality, for lack of a better phrase, is that's just not how it is because they're imposing their life.
Raped or mutilated.
Yeah.
I mean, casual.
I mean, if we're being honest. So, yeah.
But
that's the reality. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was just gonna. I mean, that's kind of the sense I'm getting from him. But then again, it's like, is the Pope really that out of touch about what's going on globally? I'd really hope not. I mean, he was just in Lebanon and Turkey, like he said. He literally in a truck, where they were bringing him through the cities. He had to have a glass bubble around him so he wouldn't get shot. So I don't know what he's talking about with. Yeah, I understand he's the Pope, but he rides around the Vatican all the time with no glass bubble around him. He clearly knew he was in a Muslim nation and they were going to try and take out the Pope, obviously. And there's so many Christians there that he went to see, but they live under Muslim, rule. But it's just, is he really that out of touch? My gut tells me, well, I've been there. I've thought that same thing, so I can understand it. But it's like, did he really become the Pope and be that
So what's
out of
the answer?
touch?
Is he stupid? Is he that
I just think he's
ignorant?
He's squishy.
Or is he?
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of squishy. I think.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to squish himself to death, literally.
You guys. I mean, come on, man. Can you walk that back? Is there any walking back from this? Or no? Does he think that it's peace at any cost, which is no peace at all? I mean, do you think he's going to get backlash?
He already is.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, is it gonna not just a 3-day media cycle backlash, but like backlash that lasts a week or two?
No,
Nah.
no, because look at Protestant churches. They all buy into the same thing. I mean, it's pervasive. It's the general feeling and kind of sentiment that, Jesus was an immigrant, which, by the way, Josh Howerton, I don't know if I don't even know where he came from, but
Texas.
He's all over the place. The preacher with the camo hat has a great rundown of scripture, and maybe we'll get to it sometime today, but about how, no, Jesus wasn't an immigrant. He didn't illegally, like run into the Roman Empire. Anyway,
Let's do that on the other side.
but it really is like it's pervasive, and that's how most Christians, Protestant or Catholic, think these days. I think we're the weirdos that actually are like, no, you will surely die
It's
quickly, and they're going to be nice to your face, and they're
Yeah.
going to tell you we want to work on peace and respect. That's the Mecca strategy. Allie from Athens. Then you get to the Medina strategy, and that's where your head gets chopped.
Mhm.
It's coming, people. And Pope Leo is really fooling himself if he thinks it's not.
That's a good word, Allison.
Okay, anyway, we're going to take a break. And on that cheery note, we'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. It's almost the end of the second hour. It's already been quite the day for a Monday. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And before, I guess in the next hour, we'll go through the Josh Howerton.
Oh, it's good.
Point
it's
by
worth
point.
the time. Yeah.
Like, he's got a good podcast, by the way.
Yeah, he does.
A friend of mine told me about him. I'd never heard of him before, but it's funny how all of a sudden he's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
But he's very wise and he has really good things to say. And I think that is such an important argument that he makes or takes apart to do. But before that, we have text.
That we do. 833-687-4448 is the text line number. Let's see. Michael from Moulton says, we knew it wasn't a coincidence that an American Pope was picked with the timing that worked out for Trump's election win. He's a liberal, and he was chosen to supposedly be a voice of reason to oppose Trump. So basically, it was a crock that he was chosen. I've seen some people think that, that he was going to be the American Pope that can go against Trump's policies. He's not a full liberal because he may be lying, but I mean, he's been openly against LGBTQism and he's been openly against abortion. The one issue he's just been flat out wrong on is Islam and immigration. But I don't know. Is it really a conspiracy? Like, why would most of the cardinals and people at the Vatican care that much about who the American president is? I could be wrong, but I feel like not all of them care that much about American politics to do something like that. Choose a pope just to oppose Trump. I don't know if I buy that necessarily.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't interesting. I mean, I don't think anybody gave him a chance. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Didn't they think the guy from Africa was going to become Pope?
Sarah.
I was just about to say. So he's the openly pro-Western, anti-immigration, based cardinal.
Right.
I don't know.
Pizza Balla was my favorite one.
What was his name?
Like something pizza.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm for anybody with pizza in there.
Yeah.
Scott from Decatur says, they are in jihad, so let us go on crusade. Under the Quran, lying to an infidel is not a sin.
That's true.
It's so true.
Lisa from Huntsville also said, talking about the Hexeth stuff, riddle me this. How can you charge someone with a, quote, war crime when we're not even at war? I mean, I could be wrong, but I really thought you had to be at war officially before you could commit a war crime. Yeah, that's what most of the legal analysts said. Of even the ones that thought what we were doing was illegal, they were saying it's not a war crime, it's just flat out murder. So the real crux of it was, are we at war with the cartels or not? But I think that's a good point because, all the Democrats saying, but the Geneva Convention, I thought you were saying we weren't at war. Which one is it?
Yeah. Look, it's the theme of the day. It works when it's for them and it doesn't when it's for us. Like you said earlier about a different subject. It's really simple.
But if they're terrorists and they've been designated terrorists,
can't
you take out terrorists?
Take them out?
I don't see.
It's nonsensical.
They're bringing drugs to America. Yeah.
It's nonsensical, you guys. Kind of like Joy Reid, which I hope we talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Her little clippy clip in the last hour. But for the love of all that's good and holy.
Any more texts?
Tom with all the kids, by the way, when you were
talking
with Tuberville and you said, don't say about Christmas because you had too many kids to buy gifts for. He said, you have too many kids. ! I
take it back, Tom. You're right. You win.
Yeah. Tom's got 17 gifts to get.
Hands down.
Wow. I don't.
Tom, I mean, Abs, you and I don't even meet that quota between the two of us. We're only at 8.
Wow.
We got to bring in JP and his brother.
I got 2 brothers and a sister.
Roommates from college. I don't know.
And your Tiger Woods nephew.
My Tiger Woods nephew.
That was so cute.
That guy is so funny.
Dumpling.
We were teaching him how to catch a ball too. He's gonna be like 2 and be able to play all the sports already.
All the sports.
Well played, guys.
Well
played.
Do it.
Oh, the thing.
Did y'all see something you just said? Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Because we only have a few minutes, but I was thinking, I can't remember if I sent it to you, JP, but when Senator Tuberville, when Coach was talking about how it's not just drugs in the boat, how there are other things, I was thinking yesterday, I saw the clip from Tom Homan where he I couldn't tell if he was getting choked up or if he was just stopping himself because he was talking about the 62,000 children that they found that the Biden administration never even looked for, the ones that were lost in coming over the border and how some of them were in forced labor, some of them were sex trafficked. And then he kind of paused and started talking about he said, I can't even talk about some of the horrific things that we found that these kids have gone through. And I mean, I don't think they have children in those suitcases for vacation, but it all goes together. And so, do we value life or not? Do we value Americans or not? Do we value non-Americans, these children, these kids? And like we were talking about the library stuff, historically, we always protect children.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any other way around it. And I love that Pete and Tommy are just
Pete and Tubbs
over it. And I love that Coach said that. Like, I just don't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell Trump's getting there and Pete Hegseth is getting there. Like, come at me, bro. Don't care.
It's refreshing.
Don't care. Maybe we'll get into Josh Howerton Festivus for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yes,
got
ma'am.
lots more. I think there was another story. Was there another story?
Oh, Joy Reid.
Joy Reid. Okay, we'll be back with that.
So I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors. You got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside. I'm
We're
Amy
doing
Beth
a
Shaver.
radio show.
We're doing a radio show and having great conversation all the way around.
So sorry.
I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And Allison found a handy dandy banger of something from Facebook by a guy named Josh Howerton. He is a pastor in Texas. And I don't even know how long he's been around, but I very much appreciate what he has to say because he's taking the immigration argument apart. And if you've probably noticed, because you're very wise and you're engaged politically, but you know that that's been one of the themes of the show today based on the montage. It is not just the Islamic Academy and the narco-terrorist, but it's also this theme of immigration and what we should do and how do we have conversations about it. And I just would love it if you could go through that, because I think these are really important points for us all to tuck away and use when we're having conversations with our family.
Especially considering the clip we just listened to with Pope Leo, how pervasive this idea is of immigration, open borders. God hates walls. God hates governments. God, it's all a lie, actually. But he posted this. He said, "You're going to see Jesus selectively edited for political purposes like this a lot in the coming days. A few things to remember. 1, Jesus never broke immigration laws. He didn't. Jesus did not immigrate. He left Nazareth, which is in the Roman Empire, to go to Egypt, which is also in the Roman Empire. Okay, so there was no border jumping. When they traveled, his family legally registered themselves. Luke 2, 1-5. Y'all remember that?
I do. Like
That's-
legally registered.
yeah.
Also, because they were told they had to go register.
Mhm.
They did.
And what do you do when you register?
Allison?
Give your name and who you are, and it makes you legal.
Perhaps it's some sort of
What?
synagogue or courthouse or some such that was
What?
legal for them back in the day.
Yeah. You had to go register.
Register. Huh. Okay. All right.
Make sure you were legal. Okay. Jesus commanded obedience to laws, Romans 13:1, and commanded governments to enforce their laws, Romans 13:3-4. I mean, God basically created the first. What did he have at the garden? What did he have outside the gate of the Garden of Eden? An angel to guard it. Borders, boundaries, government. He had rules.
Yeah.
Hey, woman, don't eat that fruit. Don't tell that man to eat that fruit. Rules, government.
From the jump.
From the jump, even in paradise.
Hmm.
Okay. People like to selectively edit Jesus to turn him into a mascot for their cause. You can equally say things like, Jesus was a part of the majority culture in his region. Jesus came from a patriarchal, traditional family. Jesus wasn't vaccinated. Jesus fed the poor without raising taxes. Jesus told people to buy weapons, etc. Jesus is a Lord, not a mascot. Yes, individual Christians are commanded to love all people, including immigrants. And that cannot be disregarded. No, the biblical command to love the foreigner among you does not mean it's wrong for a nation to enforce its immigration laws. And this was all in response to, he has a screenshot of a tweet where somebody says, Jesus was literally an immigrant, you silly, bad word. Jesus wasn't, there's no arguing around God telling believers to obey the law. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, give to God what is his. Everything, there is respect.
Yep.
To, as long as it doesn't go against God's commands to us, we are to follow the law, the civil magistrate. It's not that difficult. There are laws for a reason. You can't go into a Muslim country and break the law, but it's okay for them to enforce their laws, but not us. I guess because we're, as Joy Reid says, we're white and we're killers and leeches. Yeah.
Killers and leeches is what
Yeah.
this,
So
as she's
sweet.
profiting off of the system that was built by the founding fathers. But what was the, on that thread you were talking about, what was the most common punishment for Israel whenever they disobeyed God? They were sacked and ruled by foreigners. That was a punishment. That's even in was it 80 AD when Rome sacked the temple? Like that is a punishment. That's a completely different rabbit hole of punishment for what with that. But in general, I mean, whenever they were disobeying God, they were invaded and they were ruled by foreigners. That was a biblical punishment. So, the verse of giving clothes to your foreigner or treating your foreigner as you'd like to be treated, that it's just being maliciously twisted by people like Satan. Satan used scripture against Jesus in the wilderness. I saw somebody too retweeted Gavin Newsom's press office tweeted something. It was something with Stephen Miller or somebody. It was regards to immigration, and it was the quote of "I was naked and you fed me," or it was one of the typical quotes they use to try to gaslight Christians into being for open borders. It's like, you don't even believe in the Gospels. Why are you preaching to us? Like, but that's the thing. If they use those verses to gaslight you into their way of life, and Christians can't just, okay, it does say that, and then let them walk over you. Like, no, borders are biblical, and biblical punishments were foreigners ruling over you.
You know what else has borders and boundaries?
Wait, let me guess. The Vatican?
Heaven.
Oh, heaven.
Yeah.
There's a gate there too. So the
other abs.
Smart. So there's one other thing that I think we've talked about this before, but well-meaning individuals who are buying into allowing scripture to be twisted and thrown upon their shoulders is also is they are buying into a globalist agenda mindset without realizing it. And I'm reading a book right now I've told y'all about that I'll share a little tiny snippet later in the week called None Dare Call It Treason from 1952. It's a doozy. But when you read it, you realize this replacement theory that's not a theory, this global agenda that's not imaginary, this people being ruled by one, when Bush brought it up, it was the New World Order. This has been around for about 100 years or longer, but it is meant to control people, to drop their borders, to drop their boundaries, to drop their citizenship so that they are citizens of the world, to be controlled by a few. And we're all being led into that without even we know, our audience knows, but too many people don't know, even in the church. Be very careful of what you're being led to agree with, because perhaps if you knew what that was, you wouldn't agree with it at all.
It's just such a, I was going to say earlier, you mentioned the Vatican having borders.
It does.
I've seen people retweeting that Pope clip and saying, oh, well, then you tear down your borders around the Vatican and let everybody come in. No, not really, because I've been through the Vatican and the security is...
It's very tight.
Very, 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 very
And
tight.
I'm pretty sure they won't let us just go down into the underground where apparently the jewels are stored or their vast wealth. Like we can't just run down there because we think it's nice.
Yeah.
That's not very caring and sharing to have like those Swiss guards.
Yes.
Very intimidating.
Yeah.
And their poofy hats.
I mean, that's fancy.
I wonder what they would say if Muslims went to the Vatican, entry point and said, we'd like to have a call to prayer in the square, in St. Peter's Square. I wonder what they would say to that. Yeah. No,
they'd probably let them.
Well, that's
At this
true.
point, they would, but in the past, they wouldn't have.
That's true. Unfortunately, they would. I'd like to see that. What would they say? Because there was rumors about them opening up a room for Muslims to pray in the Basilica. God.
Are you sure that's rumors? We need to
We
look
should
it
probably
up.
check.
I say rumors.
I really think that happened because they had to accommodate the people that traveled there to see the Basilica, but they still had to do their 5 prayers a day. I really think it's true.
Let's see. It says, claim, the Vatican Library has opened a prayer room for Muslims. Fact check. The library does allow Muslim scholars a room in which to pray while they are on. Okay, so I guess this is true.
Yeah.
But you have to be a Muslim scholar.
So this started in mid-October of this year.
Yeah, Pope Leo. Because when he was in Turkey, they were really nice.
Okay. Turkey, they just
He's a turkey
he's a turkey.
and a biscuit.
Okay, well,
I wonder if any Muslim leader, if they were to come to a Western nation, if they'd have to have a glass around them to keep them from getting shot.
Well, he does travel in the Pope Mobile, I think, everywhere.
Well, yeah, but I've not seen him with a bubble around him. Like I've seen him driving through the Vatican so many times without. Obviously, I'm not naive enough to think that wherever the Pope is, he's going to be a target. But if you talk about how you went to Lebanon and Turkey and the Muslim countries were so safe, but yet you had a bulletproof bubble around you literally the whole time you were in public. So
yeah. No, it's a hard pass.
It's not going to end well.
What are they doing? Yeah, I mean, you just swung the doors open to a community of people who do not assimilate ever. So this is going to be interesting. How long is this going to take
Before
it all falls apart? I mean, yes, right now they're classifying it as the prayer room for Muslim scholars. It's creep.
it is creep. And you talked about this because you were talking about Sophia Hagia. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. And we were talking about the Muslim community, Islam, whatever, that are buying up the churches like in small Pelham, Alabama. And talking about how symbolic it is for them to take over churches. They could put a church basically in any building, but for them to conquer a Christian church is very symbolic. And that's exactly what they're doing at the Vatican. And Pope Leo is like, yes, please come along. Let me take you to the library so you can pray your prayers of chopping my head off quietly. Crazy town.
Yeah. It is.
Crazy town. But final thought, I mean, I hate it, but I kind of view this as like New York City. Okay, Mr. Vatican, let's see how this ends. You want this. This is what you think is right. And maybe that's what it's going to take. Because I do think some people are waking up and maybe there'll be a backlash to this. I don't know.
I don't know. Probably not enough of one.
Yeah. Only time will tell.
Because there was only an outcry when he said something against LGBTQism. Then it's what? And then there's the outcry. You're never going to have an outcry for pro-Christian,
Yeah.
This is how bad this is. I can see the argument. Like I can handle the argument towards transgender gay people way more than whatever this bunk was that he said on the airplane.
In terms of Islam. Yeah.
In terms of like, I can get, it's still not right, but I can like these people
prayer for their conversion, a prayer that they come to the light.
Right.
Instead of literally letting in your enemy.
Yeah. So
wow.
We have to take a break. Do you think we'll get to Festivus?
We should.
Okay.
4:30?
4:30.
Yes,
4:30 Festivus. We'll be back.
back to Rightside. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Going through the text. After we go through the text, we will get to the Festivus report. And then beyond the Festivus report, perhaps Joy Reid. And then we will finish with our exit question of the day. But first, your texts.
833-687-4448 if you want to text in. Let's see. Where should we start here? Paul from Decatur says, hey, JP and the girls, my first text since the girls took over. On the Islam topic, both I and Colonel Phil served in Iraq, and we saw firsthand the Muslim extremists do to their own Muslim people, especially the women and little girls under Sharia law. Neither this law nor Muslim extremists have a place in this great country. If Americans don't get their head out of their fourth point of contact, they will succeed they will succeed with help from libs and demon rats. Paul in Decatur.
Thank you, Paul.
Never heard that.
Fourth point of contact.
Yeah,
Is good.
I like that.
First time texture says you can't pluck a verse out of the Bible without the surrounding verses to gain context. Exactly.
That's right.
Well, I went to Christian school. That was the number one rule freshman year high school that the Bible teacher taught was you cannot pull a single verse out of the Bible. Everything is within context.
That's right.
And but they're doing that to twist it against us. So
And scripture interprets scripture.
mm-hmm.
You can't go to like random book and say that's where you learn the things.
Yeah.
It's not Monday morning inspo quotes.
Yeah. It's good.
I'm just saying.
We got Rosalind from Harvest. You were talking about that and having borders. That's true, but they won't even let you inside the Vatican when I went in 1998 if you had a sleeveless top on or if you were wearing shorts.
Oh no, that's a doozy.
Yeah, I think that may have been the rule still last time I went.
We had to be covered.
You have to put a little, they'll give you like a
shawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like what you wear when you go to the doctor.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
What's so funny is it wasn't the Vatican. It was another church. Oh, it's the church where they have the steps that Catholicism believes Jesus' blood is on. I can't remember the name of the church in Italy. Anyways, we went there, but we went there unexpectedly. We were kind of walking around, decided to go. My sister was wearing a tank top and like shorts. And there was a place right in front that would give you blankets. So the picture of my sister with a blanket wrapped around her head, this part of her face showing, and that blanket all the way down to her ankles. It's like,
yeah,
I understand, but yeah, it's a fair point, I guess. Brad from Crimestone County, quote, Jesus was an immigrant. Does anybody believe that Joseph, Mary, and Jesus were seen as anything other than foreigners when they fled to Egypt? In other words, were they citizens, so to speak, of Egypt? They weren't even citizens of the Roman Empire. They were residents. They were under its domination, but they were, quote, or all caps, not citizens. Finally, under the law of Moses, yes, there were foreigners and sojourners, and not all of them enjoyed the same privileges, but all of them, foreigner and Israelite alike, had to abide by the law. All were, parentheses, supposed to be under the same penalty if they committed a trespass.
Our listeners are pretty brilliant.
Let's see, Scott from Decatur. Anywhere Muslims pray become their holy land. So now the Vatican is Islamic holy land and must be something claimed in Allah's name.
Wait. Say that again.
He said, anywhere Muslims pray becomes their holy land. So now the Vatican is Islamic holy land and must be proclaimed. He misspelled it. Proclaimed as what I think he's trying to say in Allah's name.
I believe it. They see, remember, we've talked about this. They see no borders and boundaries for them. They see themselves as citizens of the globe.
So they conquer.
That's
and take
so
over
interesting.
Paul in Decatur. It says Paul in Decatur again. Fourth point of contact is an airborne term. Ask Colonel Phil.
Okay.
Oh. Well, how do you... let me call Phil and ask him how to get your head out of your fourth point of contact.
I believe it's when you land from parachuting, your butt. Fourth point of contact.
We're going to call Phil during the break and ask him and see if he giggles.
I think he will.
All right, Festivus on the other side. Okay, we'll be back.
Welcome back into Rightside Radio. I'm JP alongside Amy Beth and Allison here, and we got a caller on the line. It's Jeff Rowe from Indiana. Jeff Rowe, what's going on, man?
Hey, gang, how's it going?
It's going good.
I'm just rolling through Alabama yet, still heading north. So,
jeez.
Running late today.
What, they forget your trailer or something?
Oh yeah, they do that quite often.
Wait, Jeff, I don't even know what you take back and forth all the time.
Are you allowed to say?
Is it?
Of course, I got a dump, basically a tractor and trailer dump truck.
Oh wow!
And I haul unfinished brake drums down to Coleman. Well, they end up in Coleman to a place called Webb Wheel in Alabama. And they finish them out there. These come from the foundry that I haul back to. And then I take coking coal from Birmingham out of ABC Coke. And then I run that back to the foundry, and they use that to melt the metal and make the brake drums and bring it back down here. So it's a never-ending cycle.
Wow.
Do you work for yourself, or do you work for, because my husband's always looking for truck drivers and haulers. Didn't know if you work for yourself.
No, I'm not crazy enough to buy a truck.
No. Well,
I'll make more money than people that buy their own trucks because they got to keep them up and worry
that's
about
true.
the payments and everything else. Yeah.
You're smarter than the average bear, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I done seen that a long time ago when they're sitting there talking about how much money they're making. I'm thinking, well, you're making a little more money than me, but I don't have $30,000 bill every time a motor goes out either. So.
That's true. Well, what's on your mind today, Jeff?
Talking about the Muslims and stuff. The Muslim religion, and a lot of sects and everything, it's a conquering religion. That's why there's so many mosques built upon the Temple Mount. They built it on the ashes of basically their enemies. That's what they want to do, and that's why when they take over churches, it's like, I've conquered you, and then they turn them into a mosque and stuff. It's and different religion, different sects of it and everything. The difference between the Christians and Muslims. Back in the day, I guess a long time ago, back in the Dark Ages, I guess there wasn't a whole lot of difference in it because, like the Spanish Inquisition and stuff like that, and the Church of England, you was either a Catholic, you were either Christian or, sometimes you'd be put to death or jailed or whatever it takes. Where the Muslims and everything, they, sects of their religion and everything, parts of it, are still in the Dark Ages where, you have to convert or, we wish to kill you. And, the Christian values have, come out of the Dark Ages. Now it's, we want everyone to be Christian in their hearts and everything. We ask you to join under, your own accord. Where the Muslims is like especially over in the Taliban and everything, you're either a Muslim or you're dead. We're not going to tolerate any other religion but ours. So it's basically Christians have progressed to the point where they should be now, and the Muslims are still in the Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on the Pope's comments on Islam and immigration and such?
I didn't quite hear all that.
Essentially, that Islam is not much of a threat and that we can live peaceably among them.
Well, you can only live peaceably among them if they allow it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can be peaceful to them, but are they going to be peaceful to you?
Yeah.
That's the question. I mean, I can't blame these people because, just like on the Palestinians and everything, they're brought up this way, and that's their religion. That's what they're taught. If you were taught the same things as a Christian and everything, that's what you would believe if that's what you've always been taught. It's basically a hijacked religion, or hopefully that they can modernize a little bit, basically from what it was at one time.
I agree with that. It's unfortunate to see. I wish a lot more Christians would stick up for themselves and stop letting scripture getting pulled out of context and gaslight us into silence. It's a shame. But Jeffro, we got to get over to the Festivus preview, but we appreciate you calling in, and I hope Nashville's a smooth drive up through there since today was later.
I'm hitting the Tennessee line, so I'm at least that far up. You all
Nice.
have a good one.
You
You
too.
too, Jeff.
See ya.
I'd like to say, and Jeff Howerton kind of touched on this. He was like, yes, we need to be kind and pray for everyone. Okay. We're not saying we should go out and yell and hate and, for Muslims at all, but you have to be willing to speak truth and stand up for what is right and what is compatible and what is not, and allowing a religion in, if you are a believer, that is counter to your beliefs. Do you really think God would just sit there and be like, okay, yeah, come on in, let's rule together, this is going to work out well? No. And so if you're not, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. And in that vein, I would like to say, when we were talking about and kind of talking about the Pope and what he said, we are totally equal opportunity offenders towards everyone.
She's right.
We have gone after so many Protestant leaders, David Platt, Francis Collins, so many that we have called out. And it doesn't mean that they are like fully wrong. It doesn't mean anything. We're all fallible. We're all sinners. We all need to be checked every now and then. But if you can't check the Pope, you kind of got issues, because he said some crazy things. All the popes have. And so I think you got to be able to speak to that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we hate the Catholic Church I grew up going to mass. My stepdad is Catholic, and I always loved it.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to speak truthfully, no matter who it is.
That's right.
Well, and I at least try to relay the reverence I have for Catholicism and how much they admire church tradition. I wish a lot of Protestants would be more like the Catholics in that sense. But who I've seen going after the Pope the most in terms of his comments over the last couple of days were Catholics. Catholics who are conservative and don't agree with the Pope. That almost all of the comments I've seen publicly of people, admonishing the Pope for what he said were Catholic. So it's definitely not an attack on Catholicism. It's an attack on what the Pope said and how what the Pope said is, helping non-Christians twist, Christians into compliance. So yeah, it's definitely not an attack on Catholicism or Christianity, but it's an attack on what the Pope said. So,
which I guess is the Pope. Did they consider the Pope to be Catholicism? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he is the head of the Catholic Church, and in some ways, I've always thought that Catholics believe he's somewhat infallible.
That's kind of been my understanding. I'm not an expert on it, but my understanding is that the Pope is considered to be like the infallible leader of the Catholic Church. But again, I know so many Catholics who, when they disagree with the Pope, they disagree with the Pope. They honor the position.
Right.
It's kind of like,
the president.
Yeah, the president. But I don't want what we said to be twisted into an anti-Catholicism rant. And it's definitely, the Pope said something we thought was incorrect, and we're expressing that.
Yeah, it's a free country, and if we don't have free speech, what do we have?
Well, and if the popes are infallible, how can the popes have different opinions?
Also, no man's infallible, so there's that little bugaboo.
Maybe we're wrong on that.
I don't know. We have to do some research.
I'm sure we'll get some text
I'm
about it.
sure we will.
Anyway,
do you want to do a
okay.
Festivus preview?
I'm going to do a very fast Festivus preview because this is ridiculous, and what we're really waiting for.
Hold on.
What?
Before we get into the Festivus preview.
Festivus
Wait, hold on.
begins
Sorry, let me unmute
with the
it
airing
before
of
we come
grievances.
back.
Oh, this is awesome.
Stop.
Hold on, I got it.
I want to see the poll.
So, okay, well, while I'm bringing it back up, this is the Festivus preview, right? So the actual
This is
Festivus comes
preview.
out. Okay, so this
Yeah.
is last year's Festivus.
This is not right now. This is what the new one's coming in like 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we get into it,
Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
That is spectacular. Everyone, just just quick. Would you like to know how much the government spent on wasteful things? Just wasteful items that are going to blow your mind. Just guess.
What's wasteful?
Well,
Like
like
bombs
ghost
in
towns.
Ukraine?
Ghost towns on the government dime. Ghost towns.
How much did we spend on like
In general, how much money is Rand Paul saying for the love? Do you know how much overall the umbrella of money that we spent on things that don't matter? How much should we spend in 2024 on things that literally you'll be shocked at what they've spent our dollars on? Just
$1
guess.
billion?
1 billion?
1 billion.
You
Mm.
guess.
I'm gonna say like around $100 billion.
100.
$1 trillion.
Yeah.
Trillion dollars.
Hold on. I thought we were talking about ghost towns.
Well, no.
In general,
Overarching the
overall,
umbrella.
all of the spending.
All the spending.
Oh, I thought you were talking about literal like federal money that went to towns that are no longer in
No.
existence.
Well, they did. They spent $10 billion on maintaining and furnishing, leasing almost entirely empty buildings.
oh, okay. Get it now.
A Florida man, do you know how much he stole in COVID relief funds? Just guess. Just one man, because he did something crazy with it. Just guess. Throw it out there.
Oh, just guess. One man,
One man.
100 million.
Okay. This is boring. $8 million. The amount is boring. Do you know what he did? He bought an island. That was with COVID relief money.
Heck yeah.
He bought an island.
Make them get on a boat to come get you.
Everybody relax. Las Vegas has a new pickleball complex to the tune of $12 million.
I'm sure our founding fathers were like, yes.
Pickleball.
The Department of State wasted $330,000 to fund censorship of non-liberal and conservative media. I'll let that sit right there.
What is non-liberal?
Us.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing as conservative.
Yeah.
Look, it's their language, not mine. The Department of Health and Human Services awarded a $2 million grant to study kids looking at Facebook's ads about food. Seriously.
Okay.
All right. Now, this is the one that's really a banger. Oh, rats. HHS nearly spent $500,000 on a depressing study of lonely, starved rats. The Department of Health and Human Services spent $419,000 to determine if lonely rats seek cocaine more than happy rats.
Yes.
I mean, why not?
Because
right?
you're lonely and you're bored. And why not?
That's exactly right. So the Department of State spent $345,000 on football engagement to counter terrorism. Like, what are we doing?
What?
To not counterterrorism, they spent it on football in hopes that people who would terrorize us and would like to would not. So they like midnight basketball.
Is football or soccer?
Look, Allison, this is Rand Paul put this together. I don't even know. I mean,
so
this
many
is
questions.
so stupid. This is unbelievable. We spent $15.5 billion to push Americans toward electric vehicles they don't want.
Are we not over? I thought we declared the climate change crisis over. We're still doing electric vehicles.
I guess
mandatory.
We are. I don't even know.
Because it's like, are we really still doing this transgender thing?
I
Are we
mean,
really still doing boys and girls locker rooms? Like, aren't we past that?
You would think.
Are we really still doing rats on cocaine because they're lonely?
We really are doing rats on cocaine. Or the Department of State sent $250,000 to Bosnia to fight misinformation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. The Department of State spent $2.1 million for Paraguayan border security. We couldn't secure ours, but let's send money to theirs.
Illegal. You can't put up borders. You can't have
Afuera. And then finally, this is not finally, but this, I can't wait for 2025. But Americans are paying, do you know how much on interest on Uncle Sam's credit card? How much interest in fiscal year 2024?
Oh, it's more than our defense spending.
Oh gosh.
So this is the last one.
$8 billion?
A trillion.
Trillion?
$892 billion. in interest on Uncle Sam's credit card.
My math brain is way off.
So yeah, more than our defense spending is interest alone on our debt.
Who owns our debt?
China,
China,
Japan,
China.
and then the rest are kind of individual bonds holders in America. But yeah, China and Japan hold the majority of it.
That makes me
That's
feel good.
comforting. I love that.
All tingly inside.
Yeah, it's great.
What a Festivus.
So, new reports coming out soon, but that makes my head hurt.
Yeah, we got to take a break. We're way late. But do we have Would You Rather?
Always.
So exciting. Okay, when we be back.
And my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing. And they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And to our exit question of the day, would you rather?
You're not going to ask the one that.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, good. Because
Sorry.
that's, you know.
Okay. Let's see. I'm still trying to pick one. Okay. I think this is a decent one. Okay. Would you rather be so afraid of heights that you can't go to the second floor of a building, or be so afraid of the sun that you can only leave the house on rainy days?
Oh, heck. I can't live without the sun. That's why this is not going well over all these rainy days. So I'm going with second floor.
Second floor.
I would have to go second floor too. Yeah, I gotta have the sunlight. That's
like you'll die without vitamin D.
We're gonna have to buy ourselves a happy light for this room.
What are these lights? The lights that kill you?
Yes.
Are these the
I'm sure
flickering
they do.
lights, the LED lights that are going to take us all out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One day we're just gonna drop dead.
Great.
Okay, we gotta do one more. Okay. Would you rather throw the best parties but have to clean with the best by yourself, or never go to a party again?
Throw the best parties.
Definitely throwing the best parties.
Never go to a party.
No,
JP,
throwing the best parties. Cleaning up
you're
is just
so
not a big deal.
old.
He's really old.
You
Is
turn
he
on a
older than
podcast
us?
or some music and you
Yes.
just clean.
Well, not clean, but I would much rather have a night by myself. I go work out, listen to a podcast, chill, than be at a party with a bunch of people. Like
You didn't say it was a party of people you don't like.
Party of people that I know too, because my social battery just gets drained so fast.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like in college, there's one night where I think there was 15 people in our dorm and we only knew like 2 or 3 of them. And I was sitting, I think on the couch, I was sitting there with my roommate playing video games the whole time. I hate it. I'd be alone.
I mean, that's what happens every Thanksgiving and Christmas at our house. I cannot believe how many people in my family cannot pick up their cup and throw it away.
Why is this hard still?
It's really weird. These are grown people.
Yeah, and I'm not cleaning up a mess.
Not
No,
the kids.
not doing that.
Oh, I'm still going party though.
But party, because the other part of it is you get to deep clean after everybody leaves, and it's very satisfying.
Oh, no, I hate
No,
cleaning. I
that's-
hate cleaning.
Yes.
Are you like, do you love cleaning your baseboards and your,
No, I hate it.
oh,
But I'm just saying the party is the perfect excuse. It makes you get things done in your house you wouldn't have done before.
that's
And
true.
then you throw a great party. And then when you're done, you just clean because you're like, I have to.
So for Christmas, do you want us to just wreck your house and so you can clean it?
Merry Christmas.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give you a quick cleaning hack.
What's that?
The leaf blower. But you can't use the
That's a
gas
good
one
one.
inside because it doesn't go well. You'll die.
I love
Hey,
it.
tomorrow, Jared Hudson,
Okay. Cool.
candidate for U.S. Senate, will be in the studio. Our first in-studio interview could be a disaster. Who knows? You got to tune back in to see. But we'll be back tomorrow. Lots to talk about then. See y'all.